So, I mean, granted, maybe we missed something. But honestly, it's kind of hard to believe that with all these people, especially after languages change so much, that like because language changes over time. If it's faded, then we probably know less about Hebrew than we did. But that's just that. Then
Oh,
also,
all right, yeah, you can. I didn't know you were continuing.
then also, as far as things that we now have reasonable or scientific explanations of, first off, I mean, if the entire show is being run by God, anything's game. I mean, and that goes back to why I'm a Christian. Is if he's running the show, then things are going to turn out how he wants them to. Sometimes they're not going to make sense. And as far as things we know the science for now, maybe some guy, after having his eyes gouged out, figured out how to crumble a temple full of Philistines. Maybe he also figured out how to kill a bunch of people with a donkey's jawbone. I don't know.
Maybe that escalated a little too quickly.
But yeah, I mean, overall, maybe there could be a scientific explanation, but it's still hard to believe that all these things happened
The thing
in the
is,
same way.
all right. The best way to explain my point of view is,
Yes.
Look at the Mormons.
Okay. Are they here?
No.
Oh.
Talon Smedley is not here.
He's a friend of ours.
That's Mormon, and nobody takes seriously.
Perfect.
Not because he's Mormon, but because he's
Well,
the
I
way he
don't know.
behaves. That's not because he's
We
Mormon.
read the Book of Mormon in drama, so...
That's not why.
No, it's not. We love you, Talon.
But essentially, all right, look at the Mormons.
Gotcha.
They believe that the Joseph Smith, the Golden Tablets, all those stories.
Yes.
Would you ever consider that being true?
No.
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 Now, look at the Scientologists. I rest my
They're
case.
not here,
I rest
are
my
they?
case there. No, nobody's. I'm talking about looking at the groups. Yeah,
Yes.
metaphorically.
I gotcha.
Now, look at the pagans. Oh, hi, pagans. Sorry, we didn't.
They're
know
out
you.
there.
Now,
They have Nicolas Cage in a Wicker Man right now.
don't remind me of that movie. Anyway,
Yes.
so would you ever consider them being possibly true?
No.
Greek mythology?
No.
Norse mythology?
No.
Islam?
Actually, check that. Norse mythology has Thor, and I'm a big Avengers fan.
So you
But
believe in it?
No.
If it were true, though, what would you do?
I would work on being as worthy as possible of the hammer of Thor. Then I would steal it while he was out.
And then you would instantly be unworthy.
Oh.
Anyway, continuing.
Yeah.
The cults with Cthulhu.
Those
Hell
aren't those aren't real. So
Let's pretend they are.
okay.
Why not?
While we're at it, any religious groups from A Song of Ice and Fire that I'm
Yes.
unaware of are also real. Why not?
No. Let's just let's do the big ones: Buddhism,
Gotcha.
Hinduism,
Gotcha.
Islam,
Mhm.
Judaism,
Mm-hmm.
Christianity.
Gotcha.
Was there anyone I'm missing? I feel like there might be one. Let's just go with those. Hinduism.
Okay.
Would you ever consider that being true?
No.
Buddhism.
No.
Do you know what Buddhism is?
Essentially, it's the belief that you work on your life and you get reincarnated each time you die, right? You work towards nirvana.
All right. Not bad. All right.
Okay.
Islam.
No.
Why not?
Uh,
Now, why I say that is
Yeah.
because Islam and Christianity are actually very close in beliefs.
they share similarities.
Now, there are a lot of key differences, I will admit that. But a lot of the small differences is literally that one used water, one used mud, all sorts of different things.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Well,
like literally tiny differences like that appear all the time.
okay.
But there are characters from both religions to where that they have appeared. Moses, I think, is in Islam, right?
I
think-
have no idea.
I think Moses has actually written some things.
I know that Abraham's in.
Yeah, Abraham is. I think Jesus is mentioned in it.
He's mentioned, I believe, it, and comments are gonna hit me again, but I do believe
We don't know
that-
shit about Islam.
Yeah, I do believe Muslims think
But-
that he is. He was a man, but a prophet.
But my main point is that with religions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they each have many similarities. As a matter of fact, if you look at the overall belief,
Mhm.
there's not much of a difference.
Okay.
The key difference is that with Christianity, if you don't believe in them, you're going to hell. With Islam, if you don't believe in them, you're inferior, and and Judaism. There are some. Judaism is a lot more traditional, I would say. Much more rooted into their earlier beliefs, but there's so close to similarities. Would you accept that it's possible that some of the similarities are actually more true in favor to the other ones, as opposed to yours?
Like, how do you mean?
Like some of the things that is the religion of Islam says is true as opposed to Christianity, but you would still believe in overall Christianity. Would you believe in that possibility?
I would say that Islam does raise some points that are true. Yeah.
Now, because both Islam and Christianity say that God is all good, their God is, and Judaism essentially says that you shall not put. I think you shall not define our God. That's basically what they say. That you should not say our God is good or bad. That our
And
God.
which one is this?
That's Judaism.
Okay.
Now I'm going off of debates that I've heard from other people and their points.
Okay.
So if they're wrong, don't blame me, blame them. Now, with all these tiny little differences, would you accept the possibility that all of these kind of rooted from similar belief?
I would say that a lot's been borrowed.
Yeah. I mean, the Egyptians had a similar Jesus story, and that was thousands of years before Christianity was. Yeah, did you know about that?
No.
They essentially had a baby that was born a virgin. and-
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had a story.
No, time
of,
out. You just said a baby that was born a virgin.
of a virgin was what I meant to say.
Okay.
Born of a virgin.
I was just really worried about what Egypt was doing to their kids.
I don't know.
Egypt, what's wrong with you? Talk to us.
You changed so much. Go back to your old ways. Your really old ways.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
Yes.
so essentially, what I'm saying is that Christianity, if you look at the history before Christianity,
Mhm.
it seems that Christianity has used a lot of stories that came before them.
Again, how do you mean?
Well, the Bible is estimated to be written many years before Jesus was even born.
The Old Testament was, yes.
Yes. Now, thousands of years before that, the Egyptians had similar stories that would arrive in Christianity.
Okay.
What would you think of the possibility of all of these beliefs? And I don't know if we should worry about that being black.
Yeah, the screen just went black.
Should you just move it? What if that just
Oh,
deleted?
hi, Soul Eater.
What if that just deleted all of the stuff I just did?
If this is still going, we are kicking the. Okay.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Now,
We'll cut it.
all right. So, what would you think of the possibility of all of these stories being rooted to the same thing, and it was literally people believing in key differences of the story?
I would consider this. You said that is it
But
just the Old Testament?
and if you're confused, it's because I've lost track so many times in this.
It's fine.
I've literally just been trying to continue it.
I would say that a lot of people tend to have similar stories because honestly, that's just kind of how the world goes. Ultimately, you're gonna run into similar stories. Out there somewhere is another young atheist man trying to put together what he thinks and put out what he thinks.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Then again, all atheism is just not believing in God.
at the same time,
At the same time, yeah.
it's worth noting that
At the same time.
as many stories as are out there in the Old Testament. Now, let me just get your opinion right quick. In your opinion, was Jesus a real person? Like, bottom line.
I would accept the possibility of him being real.
Okay.
I would not accept that we know that he was real.
Okay.
but I would accept that it was possible that he
Okay.
was real.
And we
And
do, we
I
do have
would even go.
documentation that points towards him being real.
Sure, we like kind of how we don't know how Shakespeare's real, but we do have documentation pointing that he's real.
He was not real.
He was whatever that poet you named was.
Sir Francis Bacon, man. How do you forget Bacon?
Because I don't eat bacon that much.
Oh,
I'm a dietitian anyway. But I would accept the possibility of him existing.
yeah. Okay.
I would not accept him being the Son of God
Okay.
because
I
I just
respect that. But you're willing to.
I'm willing to admit that it's possible that he would exist,
Okay.
and I am willing to admit that if he did exist, it is possible that he was a very good person.
Okay. Now, starting from that, now you got to understand the Old Testament. We can, at the very least, date it. We can look back at the
Even though
scriptures.
it's really hard.
Well, at the scriptures that have
I don't know
survived.
how they do that.
I don't. But
Oh,
we have dated the scriptures. We do know that the documentation of Jesus and the Old Testament
but
scriptures.
before you continue,
Yes.
did you know that there is a picture? Like it is. There's this shroud thing, and it's believed
The
to have the what?
The Shroud of Turin.
Is it the one that's believed to have the painting of Jesus on it?
Yeah, and it's been proved to be a hoax.
It is?
Yeah,
Because it was apparently proven to be painted in negative.
to be painted in what?
If you take a picture of it and then use the negative, if you take a picture of it in negative, you will actually see what apparently Jesus looked like. But then again, he looked like the white Jesus that everybody today I kind of thinks of. So I guess I could see how that looks as a hoax. He was Middle Easterner. He wasn't from Wisconsin.
I'd heard that people had said it was a hoax, but at any rate.
I'm. It could be a hoax. I don't know enough about it. I don't care about it.
But at any rate.
I don't know why I brought it up.
Okay, that said, our knowledge, and we know the Old Testament's older than the stories of Jesus and the documentation that he was around.
Oh, yeah.
And as such, we also know that the prophecies that were made about Jesus' life, or just in general, they never even mention the name.
Oh, yeah.
They just mention the deeds that will be done by the Son of God. And, you know, you get stories and tales told about a man hundreds of years before Jesus comes along. And the odds that he would fulfill every single one of those prophecies, astronomical. But going by
Kind of like the Titanic story.
That's true too.
The book.
The book that was written 12 years before the Titanic
I thought it was 25.
or so, I don't know. But at the same time, astronomical, the man fulfilled every prophecy.
According to the Bible.
Yeah.
It seems a little... I don't know.
I gotcha.
Because it's starting to get to the point where it's literally trying to assume and going from point A to point C
I understand.
without knowing what B is.
True.
Oh yeah. I'm only bringing this one up because in my last video, my very first video actually, it was just an audio tape with pictures on it, and one of the pictures was an internet meme with God's face,
Okay.
and it was like atheist showing that it's kind of contradictory,
Mhm.
and I kind of wrote it down. God gave people free will, so you better use it the way I gave it to you. No, you better use it the way I told you to. Essentially, you have the free will to believe in me, so you better believe in me. I'll use 3 or 4 commandments telling you that you better believe in me and no other God.
Okay.
I will use other commandments telling you to not steal. I will use other commandments to tell you to be faithful to your wife and not to want to have sex with your neighbor's wife. And essentially, George Carlin did a routine where he summarized all of the commandments and said, all of this could have literally been put into one commandment. And essentially, the whole idea of Christianity is that if you do not believe in us, you will suffer an eternity for hell. And for many a year, this has caused shaming for even the smallest of things. Apparently, there was a note that was believed to be the note that you would hear when the devil came. So if you were ever